Coming up next, we're going to talk about the importance of resting and reflecting on your weekends if you're on purpose. And then, sad but exciting news and funny work fails, plus your calls, and it all comes right now. All right, coming to you live from Ramsey Solutions Studios in Nashville. This is, in fact, the Ken Coleman Show. Thrilled to have you with us, 844-747-2577. This is a show about you and your purpose. Purpose in your work and purpose in your life, and they aren't separate topics. You were created to fill a unique role in your work, through your work. That means you are needed. You're tremendously valuable. But it also means that you have to do it. I don't believe that you just get to say, I'm not going to really pursue my calling. I'm going to mail it in and just get a safe job with good benefits and a decent 401k plan. Somebody out there in this world needs you to show up in the workplace and give yourself away to be the best version of you. See, purpose isn't about us. Our why isn't about us. It's about others. And so we're going to help you figure out what that is if you don't know what it is, or if you know what it is but you don't know how to get there, we're going to help you with the clear path forward. And if you know what you're supposed to do with your life and you actually know how to get there, but finances, family, fear, or failure is holding you back, then we're going to grab you by the shoulders over the phone. We're going to shake you a little bit and say, hey, you got this. The world needs what you have to offer. 844-747-2577 is the number. I want to speak to those of you who I would put you in the stages of 2, get qualified, 3, getting connected, stage 4, getting started. You're about ready to get started, or you're looking to get that new opportunity, or stage 5, get promoted, in stage 6, get the dream job, stage 7, give yourself away. I'm in stage 6 and 7 concurrently. I'm in my dream job, but there's a whole lot to do. And so now I work for impact, not just income. And so this covers a broad range, and this is the person you're on purpose and you're getting after it. You're hustling. So any of those stages there, get qualified, get connected, get started, get promoted, get the dream job, give yourself away. This is about the importance of staying on the path. This is really hard. It's really hard. I got 3 teens, a wife, even a doodle that can cause distractions. Then you got to get after it and go hard. You're putting yourself out there and you got to keep producing. And I'm going to tell you something. There's a reason why the God of the universe, the creator of the world, rested after 6 days of creation. Resting is not just a physical act. And so I want to unpack that. Resting and reflecting, resting, I don't care what the order is. But whether you work a 4-day week or a 3-day week, you got 3 12s, whatever it is, or a 5-day week. Whatever your weekend looks like. Some of you work through the weekends and you take your Monday or a Tuesday off, whatever it is. The idea of time off is so crucial to living on purpose and maximizing your potential. Don't miss it. You've got to have some time where you can pull away from the work and reflect. Let's talk about reflection. I've talked about this before on the program, but there's a lot of new people coming in all the time, and this is really huge to optimizing your performance. You know, at some point this weekend, I will actually sit quietly and I will reflect on this week. And I will ask myself some simple questions. The first is, where did I win this week? Where did I win? You know, I was up in New York for a day. Did a whole hour special on Fox Business News, helping our men and women in the military move from military to the marketplace. It was a fabulous, fabulous show. Helped a lot of people, got great comments back from the executive producer at Fox News and the producer of the show and the host and all the things. So that would be an example of, well, this was a win. And so I want to look into that. Why was that a win? And so I'm reflecting here. There are other examples of where I've won this week. And by the way, it's not just a work win, could be a family win, a relationship win. It's really relational and professional, so this works both ways. Where'd you win this week? I won with my 12-year-old daughter in this situation. And so I want to look at the wins, and I want to dive into the wins, not just reflect and remember, but I want to go, why did I win? Now, why am I doing this? I went hard this week as a dad and as a husband and as a worker. So where I win, I want to look back and go, hey, I won. Why did I win here? Hey, that's good. I'm lifting myself. I'm pouring in some real positivity there. And then I want to look at, where did I lose this week? Where was I short with one of my kids or maybe my wife? Where was I not insensitive? Where was I insensitive? Maybe I didn't spend enough time with them. Where in the workplace did I not finish something? Did I not do my best on something? Where did I lose this week? Now, this is not for the purpose of beating ourselves up, but it's important to go, you know what? I lost here. Why did I lose? And those two simple questions begin the process of reflecting, and you'll watch your brain and the introspection really begin to take off. And this becomes a practice that over time becomes very reflexive. It doesn't take long to develop this habit. And so I want to reflect. Another thing I want to do is, what am I grateful for? What am I longing for? I want to start with gratitude before I start thinking about longing. Because the human spirit, if we just focus only on what we are longing for, that can turn into a really toxic stew of impatience and ingratitude. So I want to start with, what am I grateful for? What am I longing for? And so those are just 4 questions that I do every weekend, and it just helps me reflect. And then I make sure that I'm resting. You know, I've got some household projects and things that I've got to do from time to time, obviously, and I've got kids and all the things. But I want to spend a good portion of my weekend resting my body and resting my mind. And the actions of reflection and resting allow me to recharge. There's actually a really cool word that we throw around flippantly and we don't think about it. It's called recreation. But if you break the word recreation down, it actually means recreate. That's a beautiful thing, not just for word nerds like me, but if you really embrace that and go, no, wait a second. How am I going to recreate myself this weekend? I once read an interview that someone did with Andrea Jung. At the time, she was the CEO of Avon. I don't know if she's still there. It doesn't matter. But she said something that was so simple yet profound, and it shook me to my core, and it applies to what I'm telling you. She said, every Friday evening, when I leave the office, I resign. I write a resignation letter, and I put it in my top drawer, but I don't turn it in. And she said, every Monday morning I come in and I tear the letter up. Now, what she's not saying that, she's flip-flopping all the time. What she's saying is, you know what? This weekend, I'm not about Avon CEO or whatever. I've resigned. I'm not working. It's a wonderful, wonderful boundary. Now, it's not always possible, but you get the sentiment. And so if you are going to be on purpose and give everything you've got, you want to get to the end of your journey like I do and pour yourself out and say, look, I've got nothing left to give. I've done everything that the creator of the universe asked me to do, created me to do. I've poured myself out for others. It's been a good race. I mean, that's what we all long for. But if you're going to do that, you're going to have to make sure that you are reflecting and resting on a regular basis, but at least do it on the weekend, if nothing else. And watch the juice come back to you, flooding through you on a Monday morning. I'm just going to tell you. Now I'm going to go one more step further and tell you that I've adopted this practice on weeknights as well. You can go around and poll people that work with me here at Ramsey Solutions, and they will tell you that they are hard-pressed to remember a time where they got an email or a phone call from me about work in an evening or on a weekend. It's really rare because I unplug. And I take my work hat off and I put my dad and husband hat on, my friend hat, my son hat, my brother hat. And that's all I do. And it's amazing to me, Joe, how on Monday mornings when I'm driving in, I walk in this place like Tigger. I'm bouncing, man. I got the juice. Not just because I'm in my sweet spot where I'm using my talent, what I do best, to perform my passion, work that I love, to produce my mission results that matter deeply to me. That's not the only reason. It's also because I'm refreshed. I'm recreated. I'm ready to go. I've got something to pour out. So rest and reflect. Rest and reflect. And when you do that, watch your batteries get recharged. Watch the threat of burnout fade away. I guarantee it. 844-747-2577, 844-747-2577. Speaking of the juice, my favorite thing in the world to do is actually coach you folks one-on-one. Let's go to Grand Rapids, Michigan, where Lindsay joins us. Lindsay, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, Mr. Coleman. Thanks for taking the time to talk with me today.
You bet, but I will not talk to you if you call me Mr. anymore. It's Ken, and that will do. Okay, is that cool? Can we do that?
Fair enough.
All right, what's up?
Well, my biggest question that I have for you is I'm wondering at what point I should stop trying to find another job in the same career field versus basically give up and try to see if a different career field would be a better path for me.
Okay. Why do you think this current career field that you're in and you're pursuing jobs in that career field, why do you think that it might be time to give up on that?
Well, I have been in my career field for 5 years now, since I graduated with my degree. And I was in the same position in that field for the first 4.5 years of that. And then about 4 months ago now, I switched over to a new position, but in the same field. And I'm just still not feeling satisfied with my job.
Okay. So what I'm asking that question, the reason I'm asking that question is I want to know if this is a field issue, okay, career field issue, or is this a role issue in your current work or a company issue? So let's go towards, okay, if I said, yes, absolutely, you should walk away right now, which I don't have any evidence of that yet, where would you walk away to? What field and why?
I'm not exactly sure. That's why I'm just so torn.
So, all right. So that helps me. I want to dig a little bit more. All right. Can you tell me the field? You're being kind of cryptic, and if I need to keep you out of that, that's fine. But what field are we talking about?
I'm a nurse.
Okay, you're a nurse. And so you went to school to be a nurse. Why did you become a nurse?
I don't really feel like I did it for the right reasons.
Okay, tell me what they are.
Yeah, well, I felt like at the time I was getting a lot of feedback from family that, you know, it's a stable career position and I would be able to support myself and I'll always have work to do.
Oh, my gosh. The dreaded, it's a safe job advice. Oh, my gosh. So there's no heart in this and there never has been any juice for you in this?
Not really.
Okay, well, the answer is yes. We have to move on. Look, so now we got to figure out where, all right? So you've listened to my show enough to where you decided I'm going to call Ken and see if he can help me.
Yeah, for about the last month.
Okay, so you're a month in, and I don't know if you've heard me talk about the sweet spot, but I'm going to tell you that, Lindsay, you have a sweet spot. Everybody on the planet does. Let me briefly describe it. The sweet spot is where your talent and passion and mission are in alignment, okay? And so when they're in alignment, people look at you when you're in your work and they go, you were born for this. Does that make sense to you so far?
Yes.
Okay. And so I believe that every person on the planet has talent. Those are hard skills and soft skills. Okay. I believe everybody's got passion for a type of work, a role, a task, or a function. And then I believe everybody wants to contribute something to the world. And so that's what I call mission. So every job, all work, produces a result. You agree with me?
Yes.
Okay, great. So what we like to do is help someone see what their sweet spot is. What do you do best? What work do you love to do? And what results do you want to produce with your work? And so when we figure that out, it's a big blinking neon arrow that points to the marketplace where there's a lot of different jobs, career paths, and even dream jobs. You understand all that? You're familiar with this?
Yes.
All right. I thought so, but I wanted to review it for everybody else. So knowing that, I'm not sure I believe you, Lindsay, not because I think you're being dishonest with me, but I think you're fearful or doubtful to blurt out an answer to this question. What would you do tomorrow? What would you try if you knew you couldn't fail but didn't have to commit the rest of your working career to it? What would you try? Say it, Lindsay, now. Go.
Probably interior design.
How does that work every time? Am I some sort of magician? No, I'm not. I don't have superpowers. All I did was force you to say what's on your heart, but you've been afraid to share it with everybody else. Isn't that true, Lindsay?
Yeah.
All right, so now let's put interior design on the witness stand. You ever watched a legal movie or some type of lawyer show, Lindsay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. I'm going to do a really awful impression of a lawyer putting your idea on the witness stand. And let's just see if the facts bear out that being an interior designer is in your sweet spot. Shall we do this?
Okay.
All right, great. You're not allowed to think. You're only allowed to feel. Make sense?
I'll try.
No, you will. Here we go.
Okay.
What are your top talents, things you do best?
I'm really organized, detail-oriented.
Mm-hmm.
I like anything to do with like creativity and creating something.
Interesting. So would you say you have the talent of imagination?
Yes.
Yes. Would you say you have the talent of organization?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Huh. Now, let me take a guess on the kind of work that you would love to do. Okay? My guess is, with those talents that you just admitted that you have, that the idea of being put in a pressure situation to perform by doing a room and completely overhauling a room, the imagining, and there's a performance there of analyzing the room or analyzing the space and then creating and performing, because there's pressure to decorate a room to make somebody happy. Does all that sound about right to you?
Mm-hmm.
And that means that the missional result of that kind of work for you is creation. You want to put new things into the world, new designs, rooms. You want to create a space that is not just functional, but it's an emotional, beautiful experience for the person you're doing it for. Is that true?
That would be true.
Yeah. So is interior design a career path that is in your sweet spot? Yes or no?
Yes.
I expected you to be a little bit more happy about this. What is happening on the other end?
I'm just trying to figure out how I can justify doing that.
Wait a second. I wasn't on that part of the conversation yet. I'm trying to get you clear, which is stage one. Are you clear?
I'm clear.
So the how we get there is not even what you're wrestling with. You want to justify it. Who are we justifying your dream, your unique role that the creator of the universe has for you? Who are we justifying that to? Yourself or to others? Or both?
Probably both.
I know. I thought you just said that you were clear, that that is something that is in your sweet spot that you could absolutely crush and absolutely love. I thought you told me that.
That's correct.
Okay. So your head hasn't caught up to you, and I get it because we're about 45 seconds into this realization. But your heart is caught up, yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah. I think I just heard a smile. Is it true?
Yes.
Yeah, I heard that. Okay. So now it's the others. Who are we worried about? Let's dive into this. This is important. Who are the others?
Mostly myself, but then also family, parents. I hate to, I guess, disappoint them.
Let me ask you a question. If you become successful in interior design, do you think your parents will be disappointed in that?
No.
Yeah. So you've created a false narrative, and you've put that on your parents. Shame on you. I would also say shame on them if they actually become disappointed. But if you go to your parents and you say, hey, I pursued nursing. I've been in it 5 years. It's not for me. I'm a creative soul. I've got the talent, Mom and Dad, you know this, of organization. I've got the talent of imagination. I've got the talent of connection and communication with people. I can work with people, get their vision, and make their vision reality. And I love creating. And you say, hey, I know what the path is for me. And so here's what it's going to take for me to get qualified. I'm going to stay in nursing, and I'm going to get qualified while I'm still in my day job of nursing. I'm going to get connected, and I'm going to step from nursing right into interior design, and I'm not going to miss a beat, and I'm going to do what I love, and I got a plan. I just don't think Mom and Dad are going to be too freaked out by that. But if they are, it's your life, not theirs. And here's the big warning, Lindsay. If you don't do what you were created to do because your mom and dad may not approve of it 100%, you're going to end up resenting your mom and dad when you're much older. The very people you're trying to please. That's toxic. You don't want that, do you?
No.
All right, Lindsay, it's time to be a big girl. I believe in you. Do you know that? I believe you're supposed to do this, and I believe in you. Do you feel that?
Yes.
All right, go do it. 844-747-2577. Let's go to Bill in Greenville, South Carolina next. Bill, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken, how you doing today?
Bill, I'm living the dream. What are you doing?
Oh, just sitting here thinking.
Oh, I like
Thinking
that.
too much, I guess.
I'll bet you are. I'll bet you are, and I love that you admitted that. So let's get rid of the stinking thinking, and let's dive into Bill's heart. What'd you call me about today, Bill?
Well, I called you. I forgot to mention to the mom that I had talked to. I'm self-employed. I'm an independent courier, and I've been doing this for a couple of years now. And I'm also about to be ordained to be a deacon in my church.
Okay.
And my biggest thing is I'm kind of debating should I go back into the full-time workforce, or should I stay as an independent courier? The reason why I'm debating on it is I feel like I should focus more of my time to do work for God and His kingdom. Mm-hmm. And I feel like with me being self-employed, I have that option of being able to do the work of God at the same time have a career. The only problem that I'm running into is being an independent courier. The area that I live in, I live about an hour from Greenville. And I commute every day to Greenville to do work and stuff of that nature. And it's kind of becoming to be stagnant now in the industry. Everything's it's not slowing down. It's just kind of harder to find more work because the bigger companies are kind of getting they're kind of sending out the work, but at the same time using their employees to do it. So I'm kind of in the thinking of, should I go back to being full-time employed, work for somebody, or staying self-employed?
Well, let me ask you this. If the commute went away, and I'll get into that in a minute, depending on this answer. If the commute went away and there was plenty of courier work and you felt like, man, it was booming and maybe more opportunity, would you be calling me right now about this?
Probably not.
Okay.
I guess probably not.
Okay, so good. So let's lock into this. Do you have a family?
I do. I have a wife and 3 kids.
So I think I know the answer to this, but I'm going to push you. I'm going to make you think about this. Why wouldn't we move into Greenville so that we didn't have an hour commute one way? I'm guessing is this an hour total, so 30 one way, 30 back?
No, it's hour both ways.
Dude, that's 2 hours of your life. You can't keep this up. You got
I know.
So that's a big issue. So why wouldn't we move closer to Greenville?
Well, I discussed with my wife. My wife, she works she works a big corporation. She's a manager, and her thing is she don't really want to move. She don't want to move away from her family.
Okay,
and that's kind of what we kind of have to hiccup.
Okay, well, she's got a good paying job.
She makes about $40,000 to $50,000 a year.
What do you make?
It just really last year I made a little over 30. But after expenses and everything, most of my expenses just gas and insurance. So I think I cleared about 22,000.
Okay. So the reason you really called me was you don't feel like there's an advancement financially for you in this particular, because you're an independent contractor. And so there's no advancement, and this commute's killing you. It's eating away from family time, other stuff. You want to be involved in your church. So I see two scenarios, and I'm not going to tell you which one to do because I don't think you need that from me. You just need to think through the process. And so I'm telling you, you have two options. One is you and the wife sit down and you talk about it and you go, hey, could we potentially split the difference? Could she move closer in and to Greenville and get a different job because she's got a great resume, and so maybe we don't have to move all the way into Greenville, so we're not moving really far from it. But here's the deal: an hour from family is really not that big of a deal. But could she move? Would she move jobs? Could she replace her job and move closer into Greenville, but not all the way in? It's a split the difference conversation. That's one option. I think I know where that's going to go, but that's an option. All right. The second option is you go, look, I'm a courier and I'm not making that much money.
Right.
The reality is, where can I transfer my skill set and experience to my local area and make more than $30,000 to $40,000? And then we don't have to uproot the family. I've got more of my time back to be involved in my church. I just think you're looking for great opportunities, whether you work for yourself as an independent driver or contractor in your area, or you get into something different. But you go into work for somebody else, if you're fine with that and you've got some flexibility and you're knocking down a good salary, meaning same as you are now or more with an opportunity to grow, I think you need a ladder. So, hey, if I pay my dues 2 years from now, I'm going to make 15, 20% more than I'm making now. I think you're looking for something local, which means we don't move. Mama's happy, which means you're happy, and you're more involved in your church. I think that's the best case scenario, is start looking aggressively for something locally.
Can I ask you a question real fast if you got a second?
Of course, man. That's why I'm here. What's up?
Okay, this is the next thing, and I didn't know if it was really more catered to you or either Christy, but here's the issue. Okay, so I live in a small town, okay, and there's no courier services in my city.
Right.
The only thing that's there is UPS and FedEx, but they don't do what I can do.
Yeah.
And my thing is, I haven't really done any marketing in my city. I haven't talked about my business. I haven't done any of that. I just kind of went out of the realm and kind of focused toward the bigger companies so they have more to work.
Yeah.
Would you think it would be wise for me to try to advertise my business in the city that I live in?
Yes. You have nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose. So before you choose between one of these two alternatives I've gave you, you should start driving around. It's a small town. You probably know half the place anyway, right?
I do.
We'll start driving around going, hey, here's what I do in the big city. I'm thinking about bringing my stuff here. Do you need my services? There is nothing to lose here.
Okay.
If everybody says no, then we've got some more clarity. Okay? So, yes, you should explore that option. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Come on, man. You got this. 844-747-2577 is the number. Hey, really excited that we have joined forces with ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter.com/Ken Coleman is the website that you need to go to for two reasons. Number one, it's free. So I'm actually endorsing and pitching something to you that will help you in the hiring process, the job search process. I'll tell you about that in a second. But did I mention it's free? Oh, Ken's pitching that ZipRecruiter again. Yeah, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything, and it's super helpful. Here's why. They got the number one technology which makes them the number one job site in the world. They got all these companies that are paying them. That's why they can offer their service to you for free. Those companies are trying to find talent like you. The Ken Coleman Show audience is not just talented. You're clear. You're fired up. You're on purpose. So why wouldn't you want the number one job site in the world as a potential option to find you the right place? You go to ZipRecruiter.com/Ken, and within minutes, you got a profile. You hit go. They immediately begin taking your profile, and they're pitching you to relevant jobs that fit you. Here's my favorite part of what ZipRecruiter does. When a company gets interested in you, they contact you directly. The company says, hey, please apply. Come on now. Why wouldn't you try this? It's another arrow in your quiver, along with everything else I teach and provide for you. ZipRecruiter.com/Ken, ZipRecruiter.com/Ken. I don't know why you wouldn't try it. All right. Quick break. When we come back, well, we get some big news. It's not good news for me, but I got to share it with you. This is the Ken Coleman Show.
Our world is changing, but so are we. Now, we see a smile through someone's eyes. We conquer our struggles and cherish each moment because we are shielded through faith and assured by hope. And greatest of all, we love. The world is different, but so are we.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Ken Coleman Show, where we help you get unstuck and then get on purpose. Thrilled to have you with us. 844-747-2577 is the number. Coming up in a few minutes, we love to do this on our Friday edition of the show, Funny Work Fails. And we're calling this the boss edition, apparently, because all of these have to do with an interaction with your boss. So these are always fun. And if you've got some fun stories that have happened to you, or some awful stories, and you want to change the name and the names of the innocent, and you want to share it with us, then we would love to have that. Ask at kencoleman.com is how you do that. So we'd love to hear from you on that. All right, it's time for In the News. All right, it's going to seem like breaking news to some of you. It's bad news. I didn't mean to make it sound really, really awful, but I've got some news. And I pulled a fast one on the team because I had no desire to share the actual In the News article for today, because today is a very bittersweet day for me. And I mean 98% bitter, 2% sweet, if I'm being honest. Don't you hate when people say that? And they say bittersweet, and you go, is it really? Is it really sweet? And it turns out that this news is really not sweet at all for me. But that's very selfish. All right? So I got to own it. So here's what's going on. So when you put yourself out there and you build a brand and you write books and you build assessments and you give talks and you create curriculum and all kinds of things around this idea of doing what you were created to do, then you are not immune to people that you do life with, whether it be you do life from a relational standpoint or you do life from a professional standpoint. You can't be shocked when someone comes to you and go, hey, it's time for me to go pursue my dream. And it involves them leaving you. You can't be shocked. And yet I was. So, if you've been watching or listening to the show for any amount of time, you know that my producer is Madison Browder. Fantastic young woman. I mean, just unbelievable. Came to us largely out of school. She'd been out of school, but she'd worked with another syndicated radio show, had great experience. It was just Joe and I at the time, and we needed someone else to come in, and she came in the role of associate producer and call screener, and she's just so incredibly valuable. I can't go into all the things, but it's essentially I'm losing my right arm. And so 2 weeks ago, I walked into a meeting with her and my brand leader, and she told me, and I was so stunned that I didn't have anything to say, and I had to sit down. Now, I got a lot of words, all right? I always have something to say. Anybody that knows me, I got words. Sometimes I have too many words. For those of you that work closely with me or do life with me, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry that sometimes I give you a little too many words. I get it. I didn't have anything to say. I didn't know what to say. I was shocked. But then 30 seconds into it, I'm not shocked. Madison has always loved sports. That's one of the things that, honestly, in the job interview drew me to her. She was qualified on every front. But then when I found out that she was a big Georgia Bulldog fan and college football fanatic, I was like, okay, God knows what he's doing. He sent somebody to me that, this is really great. And she has the right personality for me. I'm supercharged. I've got rocket fuel in my veins, and Madison has embalming fluid. That's not a negative. She's just super calm and steady. And as a result, she's just great. She's great for me and steadies me. Grew into the producer role. I really wanted her to be with me for 30 years. I will tell you that that's not realistic, and that was silly of me, thus my sadness. However, television, sports television, she's got big, big dreams. And the reality is she's bought in, has done so much for the show and for me. But the reality is that while she, is in her sweet spot here, when I talk about mission, results that matter deeply to her, there's a different mission for her. And it's really, really, really hard for me. But isn't that what this is all about? I mean, it really isn't that what it's all about. So today's her last day. And so she didn't know I was going to do this because she hates this. She hates attention. And she hates, any type of public performance. Even though she's really good and has a great podcast called Bragging Rights. Are you going to keep that, by the way? Are you going to keep it? Can we turn her mic up, please? For heaven's sakes. So you're going to keep that?
Yeah, of course.
All right, so I want everybody that's a sports fan, specifically college football, to go subscribe to her podcast because she's going to keep doing that. But I want you to tell folks what you're going to do so that I don't mess it up because I'm in denial still, so I'll screw up the details.
You're good. I will be going to do programming with Bally Sports South and Southeast in Atlanta.
Formerly Fox Sports. Now owned by Bally's. And what specifically are you going to be doing? What's the role?
So I'm a program coordinator, so I'll be to building out all the scheduling and, making sure that you're getting the right feed and everything. Preds, Braves, Grizzlies, Hawks.
Yeah, so regional sports network, but the future is bright. And tell folks why you love this, why this was just a no-brainer.
Well, I mean, you kind of said it.
I know, but I want them to hear you because they know you. I could talk
sports all day long.
Yeah.
It's always kind of been a thing. All growing up, I would say, I don't know what I want to do, but it'll be in sports.
Yeah.
So when this kind of fell into my lap, it was one of those things where it was like, sad to leave what I'm doing, but it just felt like this was the time.
And it is. And I still hate it. But it is what it is. So anyway, this was the in the news today because I've talked about her so much on the program. For those of you who've been watching for any amount of time, she's been on camera many times, and you're not going to hear her name anymore. And so I just wanted you to know, but I also wanted you to cheer her on and celebrate her. At Maddie Browder, MADIBROWDER on Instagram. Give her a follow because I just love her to death. And this is about as much as I could say publicly for her because she's starting probably to break out in a rash. But I'm so proud of you. And all right, I got to wrap because I'm going to cry and it's going to make everybody uncomfortable. She's incredible. Love her to death. This is what it's about. And she's going to be great. So appreciate you. Love you. From the bottom of my heart.
It's been the greatest pleasure.
Golly. Whew. Play the music, would you, Joe? All right. Hey, I got to get out of here, get myself together, and cheer for Madison. Until I come back, remember this, you matter and you have what it takes. Press on.